Sync settings to YouTube. Let's see what we got here in a second. Says we're live again.
All right.
So, welcome everybody. Welcome back. I'm back, and let me go ahead and get off the internet screen real quick. So, guys, as you're seeing, we're live. It's me, Old Whitey. And as you guys can see from the thumbnail and the caption there, health update. That's what's kept me down and out off of YouTube for a while, guys. Uh, went from I thought I had food poisoning to being rushed to ICU. Um, it, so it did take me out for several months. What ended up happening, guys, is I had a bunch of MRSA staph infections on my internal organs. So we had to stay in the hospital for quite a while. And then when I got home, I just kept getting more and more sick and weak and frail. And it just took this long to get back, caught up on work, get my health back to feeling strong. Um, but yeah, scary touch and go there. They said I was a day, maybe 1 or 2 days away from just dying, maybe even hours with some of the complications that I was having. One of them being my bladder wouldn't empty and it was about to erupt. And that's what was causing the stomach ache that got me to the hospital. I'm glad that that did get me to the hospital because dying would have sucked. But that did take me out for several months, and now I'm all caught back up on work. The health is feeling good. Been out riding bikes again, and unfortunately, old Whitey that's with us, he's down and out at the moment. Which is actually allowing him time to get on here and live stream with us. He had to go through a minor surgery. It's up to you if you want to discuss the details of that. Otherwise, he's on the mend, guys. We're both feeling good and healthy. He's just literally yesterday out of surgery, so if he looks a little in pain or wincing a little bit, that's all that is. So what's up, old Whitey?
Well, I was dealing with a hernia since before Christmas and finally got around to getting it taken care of. And once they got in there, the doctor told me I got a twofer. I actually had two hernias. So they sliced me up pretty good. All in all, I feel really good though. I'm just a little bit sore. I think everything went well and I'll be back on my feet here in a couple of weeks.
Excellent. Yeah, I definitely know the being down now. You haven't even gotten to the part where you're just being driven crazy with nothing to do yet. Trust me, that's coming real soon because I wanted to leave the house and I couldn't. Even the antibiotics were giving me sunburns like blisters. So I had to stay in and down and out the whole time. Sounds like you'll be bouncing back and way quicker than I did.
Well, I'll at least be getting out and about. You were down. My organs aren't rotting out. I just kind of hurt myself, and I don't even know how I did it. It's kind of strange. They said one of the main reasons you can come up with a hernia is just being a male. So, kind of hard to avoid.
Right? Uh, you know, since you're my dad, you do know that when I was young, I definitely had a double hernia and I had to go through that. So,
Yes, I
except that,
do
that
remember
was
that.
probably 30 something years ago. So I'm sure they kick way more ass at doing hernia surgeries these days.
Yeah, I was real pleased with the whole thing. Of course, you're always apprehensive when they're going to go in and knock you out. I thought, well, hope I'll wake up with all my organs.
Well, being on the brink of death, it got me thinking about some stuff. And one of the things that got me thinking about is hunting ghost. So I think I told you about this briefly, but I'm going to be going to the Armory Performing Arts Center. So back in the founding of Colorado, this was an actual armory where they would store obviously ammo and guns. It was part of the founding and um, of Colorado. It has a lot of history. It's over 100 years old. And I hang out with these guys every once in a while, and they're always telling me ghost stories. So I finally contacted somebody at City Hall, and they're going to let me go lock me in for a few hours, hopefully Friday night, and I'll be going live. Basically, the idea is to stream the stage and behind the where you would be observing the stage in the audience, where the offices would be. That's where we would see most of the shadowy figures. And then I'm going to wander around with my phone attached to the stream through the basement with night vision on. Hopefully, see something spooky. I won't be able to see anything. You guys, if you're watching the live stream, you'll be able to see it in the background and tell me, hey, turn around, talk to me, interact with me. That will be the cool part. Now, they have heard, there is a certain stairwell that I'm going to go down and up a few times, and they've said that they've heard other foot behind them walking up and down the stairs. That would be spooky to catch on there. There's a couple shadow figures. One pops out from the stage. They've seen some weird light orbs that will actually be bright and shine in your face up in the lighting area. So I'm going to go up into the lighting area where one of those guys does all the soundboards and everything from there. See if we see anything spooky. Like I said, I'm going to just wander around for a few hours until my battery gets low or about to die, and then get out of there. So I think that'll be pretty fun. I'm pretty excited about it, and at least you'll be watching for a little bit. And I don't expect everybody to be on there the full time. It's going to be several hours, but hey, if you tune in and out while you're bored, leave me some comments and see what we can find. What
Now
do you think
let
about that?
everybody know that you do have a little bit of background in this ghost chasing, that you and your brothers went out to the Baker Hotel.
We did. So yeah, this isn't my first ghost hunting. This is my first solo ghost hunt, guys. Here, let's pull up the Baker real quick. If you guys don't know what the Baker Hotel, this was my first one. It's in Mineral Wells, Texas. Boom, right there. So this is the Baker, guys. Super spooky. It's been there since the 20s. It's got a lot of history, death, prohibition, accidents here, and yeah, me and my brothers, we went and snuck into this thing one night at like 1 in the morning. Three of us with two flashlights, and I'm trying to see if I can find any pictures of it. But it's got the one of the first Olympic swimming pools ever in the United States. I think it's the second one ever. So people would come all over to swim in that. Plus, they have mineral wells underneath the place that feeds like all the springs up at like the 10th or 15th floor, or not 15th. I think it's only 13 floors. Let's see. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can find pictures of the pool here.
Now they're in the process of refurbishing it now, and it should be open soon. So all the pictures you see of the spooky stuff, they're going to bring it back to its original form. It's supposed to be pretty outstanding. If you've never seen the building in person, it's something to behold. The architecture is amazing.
Well, here's some of the architecture, guys. See if I can zoom in on this. And look, this is how big the actual facility is. Let's see why I want to let me visit. Look at this. They built the city around this hotel. It's gigantic.
It's out in the middle of nowhere too.
Right here in the corner, you can kind of see the swimming pool. There's like a stairwell right here. I wonder if there's any other photos. And here's what it was looking like inside. They got a YouTube video. They've done some real ghost hunting here. Now what I was mentioning is the swimming pool. How you used to be able to get into this thing when you'd get in there illegally, ghost hunting like me and my brothers did. Is there's a stairwell that went under the pool that wrapped around and eventually led into the basement of the hotel. You'll wander around the basement until you find the stairs up into the lobby near the elevators, and then that's when you get into the main floor, and that's what you're seeing in most of the pictures with the archway. Eh, Great architecture, super spooky. We heard glass break, but we never heard glass hit the ground. We heard once we got in, elevator ding. They haven't had power in it at this time when I went in like 40 years. So immediately one of my brothers wanted to leave, but I forced us to walk all the way up the stairs to the ballroom that looks over the whole city. It was actually really cool, which is this part right here. And we walked around that. We took pictures. I think we went to the 7th and 10th floor, walked around and took some pictures to see if we could find any orbs. Unfortunately, nothing spooky in the footage that are the pictures we took. But it was a cool experience getting there like 1 in the morning, leaving around 2, sneaking in from the back fence over here and jumping in and finding out, oh, if we walk underneath the pool, that's probably the scariest part, was walking underneath the
And
pool in the
once
basement.
again, that was very much not authorized.
Right. Now, the performing arts center that I'm going to, guys, this is definitely okayed by the city. I went and talked to City Hall, got permission. So this is all legit. I've got background history. Hopefully, I can get a quick interview with a couple of the people at the Armory. Now they have changed this into a performing arts center, so it does have a performance stage, lighting, all that stuff. Like I said, soundboards and offices. Um, but I'll go into the basement. There used to be a pool in the basement. They gave me a tour recently, filled it in. That's where the HVAC is. So hopefully, maybe we'll see something spooky or hear something spooky in that area. Which I'll just blame on the old piping and HVAC system, obviously, because
Right?
ghost. I can't ever get
Water
any of the ghost
splashing,
stuff to work.
people swimming down there.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool to hear water splashing or something, you know?
Yeah.
Now, I'm so skeptic because obviously your house, if people don't know about this, but your house is haunted, isn't it?
Big
The one
time.
that the
Big
house we
time.
we grew up in with the family is haunted. I usually just blame missing stuff on all my brothers. I got five brothers and a sister, so just one of those guys misplacing my
Shadow
stuff.
Man figure that, yeah, Shadow Man that we regularly saw. Things
Yeah,
falling
so
off the
they
wall and out of cabinets.
blinds falling off the front dining room, off the wall, regularly, to shadow figures that even black out the TV when he walks in front of it. I've had a lot of stuff. Lights turn on and off, stuff pop off shelves. Nothing really happens when I'm there. However, one of my brothers did do a ghost investigation and got an actual voice talking back to him. They didn't hear it, but they heard it when they played it back. And I believe you guys still have that on like an iPad somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, I'll try to get that for next time around and you can play that. But yeah, he said if you're here, say something or something along those lines, and you can hear it on his phone. It says behind you.
That's what it was, behind you. Yeah, and he gets
And
super pissed off if I start antagonizing the ghost when we're back visiting for, like, Christmas and stuff. One Christmas, we were laying around and just doing nothing. I was like, "You know what?" Pulled up some dumb little ghost app on my phone that I downloaded that's obviously fake, but, I was just talking trash to the ghost, and he was getting really pissed off and, "Cut it out. Cut it out. Blah, blah, blah. You know how I feel about that." But I still haven't seen anything spooky in your house. So I'm hoping that maybe being solo, they'll be more likely to come out and visit with me while I'm hanging out at the Performing Arts Center.
yeah, it's been going on around here for like 30 years. We don't think anything about it anymore when things happen. It's just part of the day.
As you guys can see, I got the octagon behind me. Me and the pops, we watch UFC uh, every weekend. And if you guys don't know, I have another channel where I actually place bets and we actually talk and argue with my friends and my dad on there about who's going to win and that stuff. So if you guys are interested, um, let me know in the comments and then I'll link that maybe in the bio if you guys want to check that out. I do change it up. I do have a studio background that I throw up, and it's not digital. That's an actual somebody cool sent that to me to my front door, and now I got a couple backgrounds over here. How about you? Where's your championship belt, old man?
Well, you sent me actually a rack to hang it on the wall, and it didn't quite work out. But it's right up there on the top. I keep it in sight, but it's hard to brag too much. When you're the champ, you don't want to antagonize too many people. Of course, it was my world's greatest dad championship, and I may have to come out of retirement. I've seen some pretty bad fighters out there lately.
Well, we won't get too much into the fights on this one, but you know,
Your youngest brother just turned pro. Just had a baby. So we'll see how it works out for
there's
him.
a couple people a couple brothers that are rivaling you for that belt lately.
Well, they're
So
turning pro, but they got a long way to go.
fair enough. Yeah, they're not, six kids plus deep and already raised them all and sent them out on their own way. So you definitely got one up on
I've
everybody.
had 6 championship fights. Okay, they got one.
That's right.
They're not defending the belt 6 times.
I think you're doing a good job. But yeah, I can't even stress how
Appreciate it.
excited I am to be back for one. And just recap again if you guys are joining in or anybody's jumping in late. Uh, that's not clickbait on the article. I did almost die. Ended up going to the urgent care, rushed to ICU. Tons of blockages in my body, lots of growths on organs, and had to go get my organs scraped and all that kind of good stuff and then nurse back to semi health. And then, like I said, I was just getting sicker and sicker. I felt like for the first maybe 2 months that, I couldn't get any good news. Everything was just shitty all the time. I got home, peeing blood. Obviously, I didn't pay attention to the doctor's orders. That one was my fault. But I got a double ear infection. It was like 10 days where I was running 103 fever, and just had to
Not
fight
counting the
off.
fact that they asked you while you were in the hospital, how long have you been a diabetic?
Yeah, yeah. So
Couldn't have
yeah, they
it.
came in and asked me if how long have I been diabetic? I said I'm not a diabetic. They're like, well, blood sugar's not supposed to be 600, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Is that just a little off? Do I just need to jump rope or go run the block or something? And they're like, nah, man, you could go into a coma. That's horrible. Only diabetics have blood sugar like that. Um, Worst comes to worst, it did end up being it was just these shitty infections that were killing me, jacking up all my vitals and blood sugar. But for 3 months, I did have to actually act like I was a diabetic in order to heal properly, taking the charts, injecting myself with insulin. So I feel for anybody who has diabetes. My hat goes off to you. That stuff is expensive. You have to keep track of all kinds of stuff. You're fighting every meal to keep into the balanced part. Luckily for me, as I was healing, everything started going back to normal. Plus, I eat a pretty ketogenic, clean diet for until I get to the weekends. So, for the most part, my blood sugar and everything and all my carbs were low. But after about we did 3 months, and then we had to do an additional 2 months of tracking. Basically, we had to wait until all the antibiotics were done. We had to make sure that the infection wasn't showing in my blood charts anymore. And then we had to monitor for additional 2 months to make sure I wasn't diabetic. And yes, not diabetic. I can have cookies and cake if I want it, even though I try to not keep that shit in my house because if it's in my house, I'll eat it.
But you can have a cheat day anyway.
Yeah, especially after riding bikes all afternoon, I've had like a 5,000 calorie burn. And I'm like, yeah, pizza's not doing anything. I can have a little pizza and ice cream or pizza and a cookie or big cheeseburger, something junk food, and sweet to get those cravings out of the way. Everything's good in moderation, in my opinion.
I agree.
Well, I would say the good plus side of being sick or recovering, I would say, not being sick, is definitely because of those extra extended months, help me watch my weight. Usually, guys, I do balloon up during the winter, and I didn't do that this year, so I'm feeling pretty stoked on that. And it's starting to get hot, so the weight's gonna start coming off again. I'll be back in summer shape pretty good. Now I just got to hit the weights here consistently. That way, the toning is there. It's all right if
Well,
you're not
on the
fat and heavy,
serious
but if you
side,
just look like a 4-year-old body, that's not as cool looking.
when you have a brush with that, makes you appreciate your good health.
Does. And also had me, one thing I've never been is very religious, but I've looked into all the religions quite extensively since almost dying, and I don't know, just kind of drawn to it, I guess, since like I was really that close, and but that's for another topic, another day.
Another day, another time, but that's a good
That's right.
thing.
I don't want to get too political or too religious because people get real sensitive with that stuff. And after all the research I've done, I have some opinions on all of the religious stuff, and I'll just leave it with that. Got opinions.
Well, you know what they say about opinions.
Yeah,
Everybody's got one.
yeah, they're like assholes. Everybody got one,
That's
and
right. Hey,
typically
you
they
said it,
stink,
I
right?
didn't. Most of them stink.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, like I said, another time, another video on while we're watching something else related, and then I can give my 2 cents because I know enough about all the religions now to at least talk on it and not sound retarded. But
Well, I'm glad
yeah,
you made it.
yeah, me too. It's funny, guys. Is my first day back from the hospital. I don't know if you guys know, but when you're in the hospital, and the whole time I was in there, I also had a huge catheter in. So yeah, you don't get very comfortable at the hospital. There's not very much sleeping that goes on at the hospital. And when you're there for more than a week and even longer, and you can't sleep very much, first thing I did when I got home is marathon sleep. I think I slept like 10 or 11 hours. This guy had like 20 missed calls, a whole bunch of text messages. He was thinking he went dark. Oh no, it's not his diabetes. He crashed out. He's dying. What's going on? He just barely got out of the hospital. And I just woke up and was like, my bad. Just been crashed out. I haven't slept in like, 10 days. So if you don't mind, get back to you. So I just thought that was funny when you called and you're like, oh, I was going there to the dark place. I was about to have a wellness check on you. I was like, that would have been
Right?
embarrassing having the police show up, like,
Yeah, I was
well,
going dark places. I couldn't get a hold of you.
yeah, I called him back and he's like, I was like an hour away from calling a wellness check in on you. And I was like, well, I'm glad you didn't do that. I was just napping.
Yeah, think I'd already called Chris.
Right. So, yeah, Chris is my buddy down the road. He was the one that took care of my animals for me. Great buddy. Um, he wants to come on some of these podcasts. So now they're going to be doing these a lot more, going live and just doing even the recorded ones that we were doing before. Um, Chris wants to get on here. He's really into music and
Hey, Chris
psychedelic
always
type
has that.
stuff. So when it comes into talking about psychedelics and how those affect your brain and whatnot, he pretty much knows all the stuff. He's who I would ask for. I was gonna ask him the other night when he was watching the fights with me about those mushrooms that make you see the little people. Have you heard about those?
Yeah, I have.
Where everybody all over the world has had pretty much the same experience after eating these one type of mushrooms, seeing a little gnome or fairy or little mini people walking around the room and doing stuff. You have heard of that?
Yes, I have.
Forgot to ask him if he could get me some of those.
You want to see the little people, right?
Oh, I'm just saying, it sounds pretty awesome and also kind of scary at the same time. At least when I say I experienced it, somebody mentioned it. You ever heard of that? Yes, I have, and I tried it, and you do see little people.
Well,
Or
they have basically the same type of thing with the DMT, where they're seeing like almost like a matrix, numbers, dots and zeros and stuff, and they can recreate it, and everybody sees the same thing.
I've heard people say they feel like they're talking to something else, like an entity, something with lots of knowledge, and almost like they're speaking to an angel or God or a demon
The
or
devil,
could be. You never know. Yeah. So
which religion you're talking about?
yeah, yeah. So everybody's had some kind of weird experience. They're also saying that's how Nikola Tesla used to tap in. He'd have dream type states or visions, and people speculate that he was on DMT. But he says that he got the knowledge and everything from something, and it was just sent to him, and that's how
Hey,
that's how
there's
they
another there's
yeah,
another rabbit hole we can dive down another day, another time.
right. But that's how they explain DMT is that same kind of experience. And you're like, well, who knows? Nikola Tesla may have dabbled, and hey, maybe that's how he came up with his great ideas and inventions. Yeah, that's
Oh
another
no,
one
get
we can
Chris
go on.
on, see what he says. He's always got an opinion.
All right. Well, we're getting into the 30-minute mark, guys. We are just testing this out so I could do the ghost hunting stuff, but also, guys, give you guys an update. Pump up this ghost hunting. Going to go to the Performing Arts Center, the Armory in Brighton, Colorado. Going to stay in after dark for a few hours. I'm going to go into the basement. We're going to try to talk to ghosts. We're going to see if we can hear anything on when we do the playbacks or when I watch anything. Any footage that I get additionally, like in a hallway, if I see something spooky, hey, we'll have some clips come up. That'd be fun to do. But yeah, health update, guys. I'm back. I'm healthy, ready to do more podcasting, open up all these channels again. And we're really going to start with this ghost hunting this weekend. If everything lines up, I'm going to go double check on that tomorrow, guys, with the city, make sure I'm still on. But yeah, I'm either if I'm not going tomorrow night, it's getting done. It's getting done here real soon. I'm aiming for Friday the 27th, guys, around Mountain Time, around 8:30 Mountain Time, going live, 2-3 hours, walking around. If you guys are in the comments, you guys can tell me where I should go in there, what you want to see while I'm walking around. You guys can tell me while the screen's split and we're looking at the stage. If you see anything crazy on stage, I'll run up out of the basement or wherever I'm at and see if we can get some additional angles, see if we can see it on different cameras, which will be, I think, exciting. Um, and then maybe what next time I'm on my vacation and I'm at old Whitey's house, I'll do another one live from the old family house that's supposed to be haunted. If you guys missed that part, shadow figures. Tell them what you've experienced at your own house because you've told me
Oh,
some crazy stuff before, and I tell people all the time that I never seen things spooky, but you guys got cool stories.
there's just so many of them. One that I really like to tell is the Mothman one. When your brother Jonathan was staying, was over the holidays, and in the middle of the night, the two dogs that I had at the time, Rose and Sasha, they wanted to go outside, and they were big dogs. And it was really cold out, and they normally don't like to go out in the cold. But I went ahead and let them out, and it was the middle of the night, and they were barking and barking, and they woke Jonathan up, and he looked out there, and they were sitting in the middle of the backyard looking in a direction towards the neighbor's house up in the trees. And I don't remember if he actually saw anything, but I got up and walked out in the backyard to see what they were looking at, and it looked like a casket hanging from the tree, the shape of an old Western casket hanging upside down from a tree, two houses down. And the dogs were just staring at it. And I looked at it, thought it was pretty weird. It was the middle of the night, but my first thought was, oh, no big deal, and went back to bed. Well, my wife, Lynn, got up to see what was going on, and she went out and looked and saw the exact same thing. Now, the strange thing is that Jonathan or Lynn and I never talked to each other about it for a couple of months,
Wait, wait,
and
wait,
I
wait,
brought
wait,
it
wait, wait,
up.
wait. Is Lynn there?
She's in the other room.
Go get her. I want to hear her. Ask her if she wants to come on here real quick and tell us about the
Hold on
casket
just a
thing.
minute. Hey, man. Go get your Mom wants to know if you want to talk about the Mothman. I don't know enough about him. No, the one that we saw over the holidays. What the fuck? He's because I'm telling the story. Did you hear that?
I did. I did.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
She's in her nightgown or she would come in. Anyway, I've got to sign off. I've got to go get my dog and bring her in. It's bedtime in Texas.
All right. Well, thanks for testing it out with me. First live stream back, guys. Something to do, something cast. We're doing ghost hunting. Maybe I'll see if old Whitey can break out that video where my brother's asking it if it's there and it says behind you. Uh, See if we can play that clip for you guys on the next live stream that we do, which will probably be maybe Saturday before the fights or something. Or if the fights or prelims or something are sucking, we'll jump on for a few minutes and see if we can play the ghost clip. How about that?
I'm sure I can dig it up.
And then pump Lynn up because I want to hear more about this casket in the tree story. And trust me, I can get John on here real quick to get his version too.
Hey, he'll verify it. This is it's really strange, and that's just one of them. I like that story, but then we've had MRI package just come flying out of the shelves. Lynn and I were talking in the back room, and I turned off the lamp, and it was a lamp where you had to click the switch off. You could hear it go click when you turned it off. And we were talking, and all of a sudden you heard it go click, and it came right back on
That's my
with
favorite
both
one
of us.
because I know what lamp you're talking about, and that's it's not a light switch either. It had some force to it.
No, you had it took a little force to turn it on and off. It was a desk lamp. And, yeah, oh, we just oh well.
Well, well, yeah, pump her up. I want to get both y'all on here talking about that experience. I think that would be fun. And then, did she ever look into the armory? I know she's loves this kind of shit. Did she look into it?
I know she did, but we haven't talked about it yet. I've been involved in the surgery and stuff, so we've been kind of wrapped up.
On your recovery time. I'll tell you what, maybe we'll do another quick live one to promote the this ghost hunting experience I'm going to go on. I've got the day off Friday. I do have a plumber coming, so that's the only time that I'll be busy. So maybe we can jump on for an hour or so and talk more. Maybe have Lynn dig up that video, the voice
Yeah,
recorder for me, and
I
then
certainly will. We'll do a prequel to your ghost hunt.
yeah, see if she can email it or you can email it to me. That way I can have it loaded up like on my soundboard. Maybe that'll
Yeah,
be easier way.
I'll send it to you.
Or
I'll
I'll
send
just
it to your email or
play it
something, and
play
we'll
it
get it
over the
done.
stream. Yeah. But yeah, I'm totally stoked on that. Again, guys, health update. I'm back healthy. I'm back strong. We're back doing this. Old Whitey's on recovery. So while he's on recovery, we're gonna abuse his free time, get him on here. Friday, um, what is it? Around 8:30, 8:30 Mountain Time PM, which would be Central Time, 9 o'clock to all my Texas people in Central Time Zone. Um, get on here, talk a little trash with me. Let's talk a little trash to the ghost, see if we can get anything spooky happening. Um, we're going to sign off, guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, get in the comments, tell us what you think about the ghost hunting, and if you've gone through similar health experiences, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Check you on the next one.